Hi.
Hi.
Can you get over there?
How you doing, twin?
Good.
Look at you. You on camera, everything.
Well, sit down. Tell us who you are.
Sure can.
My name is Juanita. So, of course, I call her my twin. She's been here. How long you been here now? 3, 4?
6, almost.
Is it been 6
not
months?
maybe 4. February, March, April, May, June, July. 5 months.
Okay, yes. And she's so sweet.
Well, you are too.
I was only here for a couple hours this morning. She caught me and told me to come down. Said, now we're on camera, huh?
Well, well, good.
I came to say hi. You enjoying your coffee?
Uh-huh.
Ready for lunch?
What time is it?
About 10 after 11. About another hour.
I can wait.
That's good. Now, what is this for? Can you tell me?
This is a young man that was in our neighborhood. We were neighbors.
Okay.
And went to school with my kids. And I drove school bus.
Oh, see, that's something I didn't know. I didn't know you drove a school bus.
Oh, I drove.
I could see your little bitty self.
I was.
Did you run people off the road? I would be like, if you were my bus driver, I was like, where is this lady taking us today? We've just been all over the place, huh?
Yeah. But
How long did you drive the bus for?
I was Carmen's first woman. Bus driver.
Were ya?
Yep.
Wow. How long did you drive for?
Over 20 years.
Oh my goodness. Are those things easy to drive? Well,
Sure.
I guess you say yeah. I have trouble driving a wheelchair, so can you imagine?
Now you said, I think you said you drove for 25 years. You started in 1953, and you drove for 25 years, when we talked the last time. What was that like? What brought you to Carmen Ainsworth to apply to be a school bus driver?
Well, my brother-in-law was driving, and we had a woman supervisor, school supervisor, and she would never let women, she'd never hire women. And he talked her into letting me drive because I was a good driver. And he finally talked her into giving me a chance. So I opened the door for all the women to start driving school bus.
That's wonderful.
And that was in 1953.
Yeah,
So you broke a barrier.
yeah.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of. You were the first woman school bus driver for the district.
And I don't think there was other women even driving in the other districts, even around. There was no women driving.
Uh-huh.
So,
Those men are probably shocked to see you driving. They have to probably look twice, like, is she driving that bus? Look at her. You go, girl.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, what was that like driving the school bus in the beginning when you first started out carrying school kids?
We picked up all of them, kindergarten through 12. And then, of course, as the school grew, they began to have a driver for this bunch and a driver for that age, you know. Mm-hmm. So women, most of the drivers then turned out to be almost all women. Before it had been almost all men. Well, it had been all men. But we had a woman supervisor. And so
Then didn't you get in Aunt Eunice?
Huh?
Wasn't there some other family members that you recruited into being a bus driver too?
Oh,
We had
yeah.
lots of our family members that were bus drivers because of you, which were Carol Ann and Pat, and then Kathy. Kathy is still a bus driver. She's
Yeah.
in Atlanta, Michigan,
Yeah.
and she's now driving over-the-road tour buses for the summer. She just went to Florida, and she takes trips wherever they send her.
That sounds like so much fun. See, I like to drive. I just don't know if I could.
Sounds like she
drive
took
one of
after
those
her
big
mom.
buses.
Yeah, they're all,
I drove for a year, and that was all I could do.
It takes a lot of patience.
Because, yeah, and I
I'm
was
sure.
in my late 30s, and that first year was torture.
What age did you drive?
The junior high, in high school, and they were horrible.
I bet.
Yeah. I did get some elementary, and they weren't bad, but the higher grades they got, the worse they were. Yep.
Talk about, remember some stories about when you drove the school bus.
I can think of a lot of those stories
Yeah,
you told.
yeah.
Going off the road.
Yeah, tell us what happened.
Praying.
about what?
Praying. When the storms were hitting, how the snow was hitting, and you'd be praying. Just tell us about that.
Yeah, talk to us about your driving and things that happened.
I've driven on solid ice. Picking up kids, scared to death, afraid that one of them to get hurt. But nobody ever did. But I was just, I was so cautious.
Now, can you remember some stories about the kids that you carried? Anyone you remember? And
Oh, I had good kids, but I also had a few that I had to kind of sit on.
what did you do? What happened?
Oh, gosh, Kevin, I can't even remember. I mean, there's so much.
What would you do if they misbehaved? What would you do?
Well, at first I'd try to make them sit in the front seat. And that usually was enough. But I never did have to kick off anybody except one. And I literally took him off by force. He had been mean to my kindergarten kids. That was whenever I was picking up everything from kindergarten to 12. And he was just a big bully. And he was sitting in the front with my little ones, and he wasn't supposed to, but he was hurt one of them. And I told him to get out. He wasn't even going to drive. And I made him get out for half the way home. Now, I could have gotten in trouble for that. But nobody wanted to shake the bush. Because they knew I'd put up with enough. So, I was very, very strict. But I was strict with my girls, too.
So they knew to behave themselves, or they were gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Say, she didn't play that, huh? And Miss Dixie, I'm about to go. I gotta go to my other job, but I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll be down here, okay? Thanks for bringing me down here. It was nice to meet you. Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye, Miss Lady.
Bye.
Send anybody else in if anybody
Okay.
wants to.
What's up? How you doing? Can you see me? Yeah. I'll be back. I'll see you tomorrow.
So,
okay?
I remember one that you were on ice and the bus was going to slide, and it was on 2 wheels. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that. What was that like?
Scary. We drove when you're absolutely. We drove one day. There should not have even been on the road. And we had lunch with the administration that day, and I sit by the supervisor, and I really let him have it because I thought it was so stupid not to call school off. It endangered not only one person, it was anybody that was out there. It was just one of those days that shouldn't have even been on the road.
Right.
And so I was sitting by the supervisor, and during lunch, and I told him it was stupid. So I spoke my mind. They didn't have to wonder what I thought.
Good for you.
I did. It didn't make who it was or how high